To answer your question, Jazz, I ain't gonna say that. So we've all been turned down at some point or another, but we never got, like Bruiser was definitely onto something here. We never got to that point of wanting to marry her. It took a lot of vetting, a lot of courting, different things for us to even feel like we want to marry this woman, right? It took some time. We don't go into a situation looking at a woman like, damn, I want to marry her. I mean, there are some guys who do that, but I would, it doesn't really turn out too well for those guys. Most guys would do a decent amount of vetting first. So me, my wife in particular, I wasn't necessarily marriage minded when I met her. Oh, I'll be honest with you. I was on a rampage when I met my wife. So she actually changed my mind a bit for me to even want to get married in the first place. So it's just one of those things. It all depends on what you offer. I did bring my best foot forward, right? Which I do, even though I may have been on a rampage, I still always treated people well, with respect, and, you know, as you would like a boyfriend, right? So being that she brought her best foot forward and did things that would entice me to make me want her to be around me all the time. So let me give you a game of
like what? Can you give us some examples?
I'm about to. So a man has to feel like he wants to be around you all the time, like forever. That forever thing is a big deal for a man. Forever is forever. So we have to be like, there's certain things we take into consideration. Will she be a good mother, right? Does she have this? Is she aligned with me morally? Does she have good hygiene? That's important to me. Does she share religion with me, or is at least she malleable where she would kind of conform to what it is that I would do, right? Can she get along with my family? Like my mother's opinion counted a lot, right? My father's opinion, my sister's opinion. So is she family oriented to begin with, right? Is she domesticated? Is she going to be a good leader of the household, right? Am I going to have decent looking children with her? Does she got that Gawk 3000? That's important too. So
but
we have to take.
Why is it okay for you to have this long list, but she can't have a list? Like she can't.
Damn, bro, you ain't never gonna find a woman.
Can y'all do y'all want the game or no? Which one of those was hard for you to do? Which one don't you possess? That's the question. Which one don't you possess? Okay, so why are we acting like this so hard to do then? What we doing?
But what
we really doing? Are you just complaining to take a complaint? Or is this something that you
I think that is
do?
Wonderful.
Because you said all of those things are pretty easy to do, right? You do all of those, so it's doable. Right. So what are we talking about?
So what I'm saying is, just like you have things that you want that are natural for women, women have things that are supposed to be natural for men that we want. But sometimes these men are doing more of the woman role.
Well, I can tell you what's unreasonable and what is, right? So if you ask me, if you give a list, I would tell you what's unreasonable. If you say a person needs to be over 6 feet, then I feel like that's damn unreasonable. If you think a person should make over 100,000 a year, that's being in the top 10% of all incomes. Then you'd have to say, what about me makes me the top 10% of desirable women to match up with that? And if you don't offer that, if you're not better than 90% of women, period, then you don't have the right to ask for shit like that. And that's all we're saying.
So, Sharon, real quick, would you say that anything that Trev listed that he expects of a woman that he wanted to marry is unreasonable?
No.
Now, if you had a homegirl that came to you and said, I expect this man to be 6'3", make $220,000 a year.
I don't
but you have to understand that we're talking about the dating market. That if you went and watched Kendra G show, or you just go and watch Kendra G show about all these women who are looking for dates, and these women are coming in with kids, multiple baby daddies, and everything. And they're giving their standard for what they expect from a man. I guarantee you will probably look at them and say, a lot of the shit that y'all are expecting is unreasonable. And that's what, there's a reason why you're seeing all these female dating coaches. Matter of fact, I'll use Kendra G as an example. She talked mad cash shit to Kevin Samuels. Mad cash shit about how he was, about what he was talking to women about regarding their standards. Soon as she started talking to women and bringing women on her show, she slowly but surely started saying all the same shit Kevin Samuels was saying. And it's because she started recognizing, and this honestly just may be the women that call into her show. Some of them may be trolling or whatever. It may be that. But what she started to see was the same women that call into her show were also the same women that would call into his show. And so what she started recognizing was like, a lot of you motherfuckers are unreasonable.
Yeah.
And that's what, and that's where it's coming into play. Because if a dude came to you and he made, never mind, we ain't got to get into that. It's just,
Queenie, real fast. I know that the internet has this funny way of making things look a certain way. But like I say all the time, when I walk outside, I see average people with average people, right? Mm-hmm. And they in these relationships, and they whatever's going on in this relationship, they can be having kids together. We just talked about a lot of kids are in households where both parents may be living together. What is stopping y'all from making that being committed to each other? We even hear on here, men are not wanting to get married because of marriage laws or divorce. Those are all so at the end of the day, she's not gonna walk away with what it is that she wants. Because most women, now some will say, okay, I'll settle for a life partner, I'll settle for as long as you're committed to me, right? But most women go in wanting that they want to be married. But if you got people who are saying, oh, they're worried about the divorce rates, or I don't want to, for whatever reason, all the 1,000 reasons why you don't want to be married. At the end of the day, she's not walking away with what she wants, but more than likely, he having sex with her consistently.
Well, to be honest with you,
all right, let's check some other people in there. Let's go to Marcus and Ruth.
Well, JR, can I say this real quick? Can I respond to that real quick, and then go ahead. I will say this to your point, Shane. When I go out there and talk to regular folks, half of them don't say most of the shit that we say online regarding being afraid of marriage and stuff like that. However, the men do have their complaints. A lot of the times they tend to break up with the women over their attitudes. They do tend to find women becoming more unreasonable in relationships. And it may not be to the degree of expecting a man to make six figures, but there are certain things that they experience in those relationships that make them say, no, I'm good on this woman. Or they may run into a woman that's that argues with them all the time, or that down talks them and things like that. And these are things that just regular guys experience. So when they experience that type of thing with a woman, and this is just regular dudes, I can see why they would be like, no, I'm good on getting married.
And real fast, all you gotta do is don't have sex with her. You walk away from the coochie. If she's not doing what you want her to do, stop having sex with her. Stop using her for sex. Walk away from her. Let her be with the man she's supposed to be with. Y'all be sitting here wasting time like a placeholder, like it's consistent coochie. So you already checked out in your mind because she got a mouth or she got all these things, but you still fucking her.
I give it a
Stop having sex with her.